Sandy, we as a media just want to see you guys improve to 1-0 when there are cookies for the media and the situation.
What's that?
You guys are 1-0 now when the media gets cookies every game. So
Oh, we'll
it's
keep
not
doing
as
that.
good as
We'll keep
JJ's streak
double.
Yeah, it's not close to that, but
Yeah,
just throw that out there.
Hey,
for
we're
you.
happy to help. We appreciate all you do for us.
Yeah.
With a cookie. That's not very cool. I'll get you.
Did you get what you wanted out tonight? I mean, obviously a win, but to get rotations and
Yeah,
chemistry and things
yeah.
like that.
Look, I didn't know how long we'd go. It was more by feel with what we thought we needed, and like we only have 2 games before that first game, so I thought it was important just to get as much chemistry as we could. You know, I mean, win the game, but try and work it out a little bit better. And we had some moments, but then we had some moments we still, you see, a little bit rusty.
You put Emma and KB in that third quarter after like a slow start, and then it kind of the whole momentum shifted. I guess, is that just another example of how important sometimes players coming off the bench, not only to keep the game steady, but also be those momentum shifting type players?
Yeah, 100%. You know, anything can happen in a game. But when you've got a player like obviously Emma and KB and that you can turn to the bench, it shows the depth that we have. And we can show a different look. And obviously they're very experienced players and they were big for us tonight.
Sandy, I'm curious if you could take us through what went into the decision to, you know, feature Rebecca Gardner as part of the rotation.
Yeah, we think Beck's been giving us some obviously good energy points recently with her, you know, her defensive intensity, but also her movement. I mean, she's some player, you know, she's always going to cut and try and do the right things, but being aggressive, she has confidence in herself as we do, and her players do, and that's important. So that's why she got into the rotation.
And for the players, for JJ and Emma, you know, you guys out-rebounded the Mystics tonight. I'm just curious, you can take us through how the team has really made this adjustment to be more intentional rebounding the basketball.
I mean, we talked a lot about it. It's clear that when you win the rebound battle and free throws and fouls and everything, but that's one big thing to win a game. So we know that has to be one of the points that we pay attention to. So we try.
JJ?
She said everything. Yeah.
Funny.
JJ, I'll come to you.
Mm-hmm.
Defense in that first half, you guys give up just 26 points. What did you see about just the connectivity and how far you guys have been coming across the last 4 games or so where you've been building up?
Yeah, I think our communication was top tier in that first quarter. I think, you know, we had the right rotations. We were communicating with each other. We understood not just our defensive assignments, but, you know, what our foundation is as a team and what we wanted to try to force out there. So I think it's a good step in the right direction. Now we just have to put it together for the entirety of the game.
Sandy, you said pregame that now with everybody healthy, you're able to finally maybe see your vision for what this team could be. I was wondering if you could expand on what that vision is and maybe how you were able to see it tonight.
Yeah, look, I thought we had a really good half coming out, very intentional, you know, defensively first, you know, that's the focus and that's how we feel that we're going to, as we move forward and be successful in the playoffs, is a defensive-minded team and allows our offense to come out of that. I thought we moved the ball. We could have gotten to the paint a little bit more. There's things that we could have done better. I thought you know, our screening wasn't as good as it should have been. But, you know, second half, I thought, you know, when we can establish JJ down low, Emma down low, that's good for us. You know, those paint touches are so important with how we want to play. I thought Sabrina, you know, she let the game come to her and she had 9 assists. I thought she really handled that well. And we know that next game we'll get her back going, obviously putting her in the action so she can get some more shots as well.
Hello, congrats on the win. My question is for Jonquel, kind of a 2-part question. First of all, you've waited so long. What did it mean to have the regular starting 5 back again? And to that end, too, what does it mean to have a player of Emma Meesseman's caliber coming off the bench for you guys? What does that mean in a championship trek?
Well, in terms of the starting lineup, you know, it's been a tough season for us, and you know, the injuries and all of that. And so I think it's good just for us to be able to look at not just the starting 5, but our entire team and see that, you know, we have juggernauts coming off of the bench. And, you know, just everybody's able to just play together now, build that chemistry. Like Sandy said, like kind of realize what the vision of our team is like. But ultimately, it just gives you, a good feeling to know that everybody is ready to play and suited up. But having Emma is amazing. I had the pleasure of playing with her overseas for a number of years, and so I know. Oh, he agreed with it too. But I had the pleasure of playing with her overseas for a number of years, and so I know that she's not just a great player, but she's also a great person, and she puts the team first. And so, it's amazing that we have the opportunity to have her here and be a part of this. And we all know that she's not, a bench player, but she's willing to do that for our team, and it makes us stronger, and it allows us to, like you guys said, like have quarters where we kind of start and have a little lull, and then she can come in the game and change things so quickly for us. And so we understand that she's amazing, and that we're happy that she's wearing a New York Liberty jersey. Thank you.
Just for Sandy, we didn't see the 3 big lineup today, and I know there's some time before the playoffs, but is that maybe a direction you're looking to go, or what went into that decision?
Yeah, look, obviously we mapped rotations out at the start of the game, and I did have that planned. It just didn't, we just didn't feel it was the right time to go. We still had to find some more chemistry with our normal rotations. But it is something that we do want to look at in the next game, and you never know. And obviously they're all great players, and JJ alluded to it. Like, Emma's a starter, we know that, but she's playing a very important role for us off the bench. But there will be times that I think the big lineup will be beneficial for us.
Coach, going back to a bit about the health, this is the first time in a long time we've seen a clear injury report. I know how refreshing that must be for you all. How much of a boost is it for this team, and where do you see this team going into the playoffs? How dangerous you can be?
Yeah, look, I think we can be really dangerous. I always said our team is built around, having everyone healthy, and we've faced a lot of adversity this year, which allows us to grow in those times too. But we have these players, the players that we brought in, that complement our big 3, and that's important for us. And I'm really confident. I think the players are really confident just to have our full group back, and hopefully we'll just go out there and play our best basketball. And anyone can beat anyone right now, so we're going to be confident in what we do.
Hi, everybody. For Sandy, it feels like this is another game where Stewie has continued to shake off the rust and start getting back into her rhythm. Just especially over the last 3 games, what has sort of stood out the most as she's sort of working to get back to where we normally see her at?
Yeah, look, I suppose she's such a great cutter for us, and Sabrina's such a great passer. I know she wasn't happy that she missed a few chippies at the rim, but she'll make some of them. They're just really easy layups, just maybe just slowing down, keeping your eyes on the target. I think that's important for us. It's still getting, when the ball's in her hand, how we can actually add layers to what we want to do. I think you just need time. We've put all these, now we've got our starting group, and we've got to see what it looks like in a short period of time. But I do lean into the experience that we've gained these last 2 years, especially with obviously the players that have played together.
We'll take a few more on Zoom, starting with Michael.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Emma, if I could ask you a big picture question. You have played in so many big games in your career, both in the WNBA and internationally. How do you feel that experience will help? This is a very experienced group, but how will that help in the playoffs? And then if you could also just talk about what this whole experience with the Liberty's been like for you. How much have you enjoyed it?
It doesn't matter what I did in the past. It's just, bringing my experience as, trying to make everybody better in the team, try to make it easier. Just play basketball, honestly, just read the game, I'm not coming in and going I want to, score this many points or do this in stats. I'm just trying to have a feel for it and, try to fit in and, bring my own game to it, the European style. But, it feels good. Like JJ said, I've known her for a long time. I've known a lot of players for a long time. So it's just fun to see how everything that we learned in those teams to bring that here together and bring it to a higher level.
Erica?
Thank you. This will also be for Emma. I know that you had talked when you were coming to the team early on that you didn't have a lot of practices. Now we're getting to a point in time where no team will have all that many practices. It's postseason. How does that change your approach, or what you think the team approach will be when it comes to the times that you do have together?
Making the most of practice. We didn't have much when you came here. Now we've had a little more. Now in the playoffs we will have less.
You know, every practice that we do have with contact and everything, after you feel like we've grown a lot, like we were able to work on details, talk through things, and then actually do it in live action. So that helped. We've had some games now together, not complete, but you do feel that every second that we spend on the court together, whether it's practice or a game, that we are able to, you know, work through things. So I think it's really, really helpful that we get that time, which is not easy with the schedule, but I think it definitely helps.
We'll take one more from Sasha.
This question is actually for Coach. Coach, you talk about needing. Oh, sorry, JJ.
I didn't plan.
Sasha.
I gotta ask Coach
All right,
this
listen
question.
now.
Though, going into playoffs, you talk about needing more time, but we got one more regular season game, and then we hit the playoffs. What do we need to do as a team to make sure that we go into the playoffs and hit the ground running? Because there's really very little time left. But I know you're a Hall of Famer coach, so you're going to get the team together. What do we need to do? Because time actually isn't on our side.
Yeah, we have enough time. You know, we have to lean back into when we had obviously all our players healthy, and we've added Emma, that we're a really good team. We just weren't able to see our full group more than 11 games. Now it's 12 games for the whole year. And the chemistry and the experiences that we learnt from last year and winning the championship, that does carry over to this year as well too. I think we trust everyone in that locker room. We know there's areas we haven't reached our potential, but it's all about peaking at the right time. And I trust these players. I think they trust each other. And that's what we're going to lean into and go out there and play our best basketball.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.